Doc Gooden is indeed one of the best first-round draft picks in Mets history. When they selected him with the 5th overall pick in 1982, they could only hope he would help lead them to a world championship. The Mets don't pick until the 2nd round in this year's draft, but Doc was in attendance, and our Doug Williams caught up with him.
All right, Doc, we're here at the draft. I want to ask you, the Mets recently, they ditched the 6-man rotation idea. What are your thoughts on the 6-man rotation? What would your response have been if you were in?
For me personally, I wouldn't like it because unless you started in spring training from day one and they had a good reason to do that. But in spring training, you train the pitcher the 5th day, or when your start comes around, and to make that adjustment, and plus you throw in off days, makes it very tough. And I think they probably realized that and figured it out. And the pitchers they have is fun to watch, so keep on their regular turns and let's see what happens.
All right, let's talk about some of those fun-to-watch pitchers. Jacob deGrom, his sophomore season, what have you thought so far?
I like him. I like everything he's doing. The bounce back that second year. I don't normally say the second year is the toughest year, but he just picked up right where he left off. And pitching at home, his numbers are incredible. But I watched him last night. He was fun to watch, and look forward to watching more.
And Matt Harvey coming back from Tommy John. There's been some struggles, some success. What have you seen?
I'll tell you what, the way he's come back, especially like I said, after Tommy John missing a year, normally expect him not to kick in to really right after the All-Star break. But again, he's another guy that started right where he left off 2 years ago, and he's the leader of that staff. I think he's a bulldog. I love his mound presence, and everybody feeds off of him.
All right, Noah Syndergaard, obviously not a great year last year in Vegas. The stuff is great. What have you seen from him in terms of a mental standpoint and the stuff? Do you think it's that electric? You think it can lead a rotation?
Definitely. He's got great stuff. Seems like he's a very good competitive from the starts I've watched. And I think he's just figuring out everything, what stuff to use. And a guy like that, you normally, the ideal situation, to have a veteran catcher to kind of help him along the way. But I think the catcher they have now is doing a good job. With him, it might take a little time to figure out, his pitches, when to use certain pitches as he gets more time on the mound.
And what are your thoughts? Last question I'll ask. John Neese still in the rotation. Steven Matz is in Vegas. He's dominating. What would you do if you were Terry Collins there with that situation?
At this point, I would leave Neese right where he's at. He's a veteran guy, a lefty. I think you got to have him. And obviously, say like Matz is dominating AAA, but he was out a year. Let's see how he does. Building arm strength and getting innings, endurance. All that plays a big part. And see where it goes from there.
Doc, thanks so much.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me.